All right, my God, I mean, I think this is one of the most interesting storylines that I think people have been glossing over. Where's FaZe? Where's FaZe? Where are they? Where is FaZe? I mean, they were announced for PAX Arena. Corey, I've been told by many people, this is from multiple sources, is he might be the best player in the game right now. I've had pro players tell me over 10s. Corey right now is a god. He is a god. So why aren't they playing? They have the captain Jason R. They had their trial members Zachary and Marv aren't in this tournament in any kind of fashion. Two of the players that were on the trial team, Depp and Sam, are now on homeless. So where's FaZe? Where's FaZe, Arda?
Well, the only thing that we do know is that Sam and Depp are not part of FaZe.
Yeah.
So that trial is over seemingly because they're playing on a different team. So I don't know where FaZe is. Where is FaZe, Tyler?
So from talking to some sources, to talking to some people, I think maybe Jake can talk about this as well, that it looks like, obviously Corey's on the team. It looks like Marv and Zachary should be on the team. This is all, again, the subject to change. Marv, Zachary, Corey, and I've been told that 2 Overwatch League players might be joining them very soon to kind of round out the team. No Jason R, from what I've been told, from people that I trust. Which is very weird because Jason R is the captain, which makes this entire thing incredibly confusing.
I have to ask the question, then. I have to ask why. Why then? What in your opinion, what happened? Is there dissension? Did it not work out well? Do they not play well together? Because we haven't seen them play together at all. Jason R literally got signed. He was the first signing, and that weekend there was a tournament, and he did not play in the tournament, and we have not heard anything about Jason R and FaZe playing together since.
I think it might just be that Corey, in the stack he's playing with, which is, including more Overwatch players, might just gel better. And I think Corey is, if there's one player on FaZe that they can't lose, and that is their star player, I like Jason R, but Corey, from everyone I've talked to, I've not heard one bad thing about Corey. I've heard, some people might be too egotistical. Some players might just be good in scrims. No, Corey has not only done well in his one pro tournament, which was the Ignition Series T1 Showdown, where he was one of the top players in the event on a trial team on FaZe. He's also, from everything I've heard, one of the nicest and well-spoken and just overall best players to be around. So if you're going to build around your team, you're going to build it around Corey, not Jason R. And I think Jason R is a good streamer, and he's doing well, and he's getting a few thousand views every time he goes on stream. I just think it's an awkward situation where it's like FaZe was announced, excitement for FaZe. They were one of the teams I was most excited to see. I was like, I love Marv. I think Marv is one of the best Brimstone players in Valorant. Corey, as I've said many times in this conversation, people are calling him a god already. He's up there of tens in Wardell for a lot of people in the pro scene who are playing against him. But and then they just quietly say, no, we're good, we're out, and wait till friends replace them. So it might be a thing of they're trying to nail down those 2 final players who I've been told are coming over from Overwatch.
Do we have?
I think it's a case of.
I'm happy. Asuna just leaked at least one of them that I confirmed.
Is Asuna in chat?
I know of 2 of them.
Asuna is in chat. I have confirmed one of the 2 that he mentioned, but I think he's right on the second one too. So I don't care.
Who was the second? Who was the second one?
Asuna said Baby Bay and Raucus.
Oh.
And, I have heard from multiple people that Baby Bay is
yes, Baby Bay we can talk about. Yes, Baby Bay we can talk about.
I believe Raucus is right, but I don't know that 100% certain. So I'm not.
Baby Bay seems to be certain. Raucus is well, Baby is retired, right? So it's much easier for FaZe to pick him up. He, I've heard from players, talking about screaming against Corey and everything that Baby Bay does look good. He's pretty good. No, obviously Corey is the star of the team, but. Yeah, the 5th player, if it's Raucus, he's still signed to Houston Outlaws.
Yeah.
I mean, it won't be very hard for him to get out of his Overwatch League contract, I don't believe, in the same way that so the rule of thumb is that you can retire and go play another game. If you come back, similar to what happened with Michael Jordan when he left the NBA to go play minor league baseball, if they were to come back to Overwatch, they are entailed to play for the team that they were contracted to. So, if Corey goes back, he has to play for the Justice. If Sinatra goes back, he has to play for the Shock. If Raucus and Baby Bay were to go back, they'd have to play for the Reign and the Outlaws. So, But yeah, he can just straight up invoke that
Ruckus
retirement
for the
clause.
Outlaws.
Yeah. And he could just like, he could retire and just move on. We haven't seen that announcement yet, but yeah, like those are, I know Baby Bay is correct. I can say that's correct based off of my sources. And I think Ruckus is right too, but I don't know that for certain.
Yeah, Ruckus is more, I would say, I've heard it from multiple people, but it's also a thing of he's not signed yet because he's still on Houston. So he plays the game a lot. Like this should not be a shock to anyone when you see Ruckus playing almost every night in Valorant, doing quite well. I think he's Immortal 3. But the team itself, if FaZe is, let's say it's Corey, it's Marv, it's Zachary, it's Baby Bay, it's Ruckus, what do we make of that?
I mean, I think it makes sense, and it kind of points to Jason R as a signing that they just kind of got out, and then they were like, oh, wait, there's this team that, like, plays really well together. And I assume, like, because to your point, like, these players, even if they are still in the Overwatch League, have been playing a lot of Valorant on stream and with each other. I'd assume they had already developed that synergy. We kind of alluded to Baby Bay last week, too, and how easy it would be for him to make that transition because it's pretty much the same management group anyway. So it's not like there are connections between FaZe
the Reign
and the Atlanta Reign. So it's kind of like it's not a one-to-one comparison, but it's almost like he's not even moving organizations. He's just kind of sliding over to another esport. And that's why, I mean, I think Baby Bay is probably a lock for this team.
Oh, yeah.
And it makes sense
he would
because
also be perfect for FaZe.
Yeah,
I also think that like a lot of people still, and like we've talked about this since joking around about it all the way back in the ESPN Invitational, I do still think there's this really weird stigma around Overwatch League players and Fortnite players versus former Counter-Strike players regarding Valorant and how well they'll do. Obviously, the easiest one-to-one transition is from CS to Valorant just because they're both tactical shooters. But like to suggest that someone like Corey, who is very obviously one of the best players in this game right now, would be lesser because he doesn't have the hands because he's an Overwatch player, which is something I still see people say a lot about Overwatch players making the swap, is pretty ridiculous. Yeah. And I think like while I don't think Baby Bay is going to come over and be like as like insanely good as Corey, I think he can still be very good at this game. And if this team works well together and if they communicate well together, that's actually honestly the most important thing. Like we've touched upon this a lot with rosters trying to come together, right? And why rosters like Gen G and Immortals continue to do so well is because they bet on that, right? Like they bet on that rather than just signing a bunch of random names. And despite the early Jason R signing, that kind of looks like what FaZe has settled on. They're like, okay, these players work really well together. They know each other from a different game, and they communicate well, and that really matters in tactical shooters.
I mean, the crazy thing about this, too, is the fact that the Overwatch League now has lost 3 of its reigning World Cup champs to this game, to Valorant, right? Like, the USA team won Rocco, Sinatra, and Corey, right? Rocco, Sinatra, and Corey. And not only that, but like Baby Bay and Rockus, Corey, and Sinatra, like all 4 of those guys are like 4 of the most marketable Western players in all of Overwatch. Like they are the faces like of Overwatch. Sinatra got his skin after he retired from Overwatch, right? Like
fantastic interviews, by the way. Like all incredibly marketable. Great to talk to. Yes. Like they're all really good interviews as well. Like so it's super easy to just put them in front of a camera.
Yeah, I mean Arda and I have spent plenty of time around these guys through BlizzCon and the Atlanta home series last year where Baby Bay and Dogman came on the desk with us. Like it's like these guys are like incredibly well spoken and outgoing, and like I agree a lot with like Baby Bay being a great fit for FaZe because from a marketability standpoint, like he is the like and I don't mean this in a disrespectful way. Like Baby Bay's super bro. Like the guy's great, and I've had like very intellectual conversations with him like at TwitchCon 2 years ago.
He is the most FaZe Overwatch League player that you can have.
He looks like a FaZe. He looks like he's
a great guy.
Already.
Don't get me wrong. It's just he fits the vibe.
Got him in the FaZe.
And he's not unintelligent at all. Like I had a very thorough deep conversation with him at TwitchCon 2 years ago, and he was like he's a really good dude and really smart dude, but like he's bro as hell and like fits super well in this org. But yeah, like damn, Overwatch just lost like 3 of its World Cup champs and 4 of its most marketable Western players to Valorant.
So that begs the question, where are Super and Space going in Valorant? They're going to join like NRG or like some other team that hasn't been announced yet. Thanks to Asuna in the chat for playing journalist there and giving us
Top journalist Asuna.
Basically giving us permission to talk about it. Congrats on your recent performances, by the way. You guys are looking great.
Asuna, I knew I liked you. I said very nice things about you this week in our draft, and I liked you even more now. Thanks.
Yeah.